Alright, so this is going to be kind of hard for me to video because it's so deep down there. It's going to be easier just to do it from up top here though. Obviously I've got clear access to pull it out. But there's two AC lines. They're both 10mm bolts. There's one there and one there. Definitely make sure that you properly evacuate the system before you pull these off. They are under pressure. And then you also, when you have these off, you want to replace the O-rings that are on them, the gaskets, seals. And then there's going to be 4 bolts on the AC compressor. There's one there, one there. There's going to be one right below that one there, and then another one right below the other top one right here on the bottom. I'll let you know the sizes on those. I think they're going to be 12mm, but I'll list it for sure. Pretty straightforward. Once all that's off, you're just going to pull it right up. But I'll try to video this the best I can. When you pull this line off, there might still be some pressure in there, so don't be scared if it pops or hisses. Just kind of want to wiggle it free. Do the same for the other one. Just move those aside for now. Alright, so now you'll be able to remove those 4 bolts. There's one there, one on that side, one up here, and then one right here. They're 12mm. I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll show you as I pull the AC out. Okay, so these were kind of rough getting out of there. They were really tight. Other than that, pretty accessible. If you really wanted to, you could remove the radiator hose to give yourself a little more access, but I didn't need to. I did end up using a breaker bar with my socket, so to break some of these loose. They were pretty tight, but I'm thinking we should be able to just pull this up and out now. Grab that pulley. And then while you have this out, if your new AC compressor didn't come with O-rings for these lines, you're going to want to get some. Definitely change these O-rings every time you open this up. So there's 2 lines down there. Put new O-rings on them. Lube them up with just a little bit of oil so they don't crack or split when you put them back into the new AC compressor. So compare your new compressors. When you pull these off, be very careful because they're under pressure, because it can kind of move around in there. They pre-charge some oil and stuff too, but these can build up some pressure inside. So what I recommend is not taking the bolt completely all the way off and then pulling it out a little bit to let the air out. This one went flying. I mean, literally went flying. I I really cannot find it. So I'm actually glad I wasn't standing in front of it, but just be really careful. Make sure you get rid of the pressure that's in there before you release the bolt off of there. This one did come with new O-rings, as I was talking about. You want to lubricate these with a little bit of oil, so when you put the lines into the compressor, they don't crack, split, break, anything like that. They'll slip in there really nicely. And then they actually included new studs for the hose here. If your old compressor is set up that way, mine is set up with bolts that go in there, so I won't be using these on this car. But if you have nuts instead of bolts, you'll put these into there for the nuts. So here's part number. Okay, I got a new belt too, so we'll be adding that in there. Here's the part number for that too, just in case. So to change the O-rings on the lines, I just use a little pick to pull the old O-rings off, and then I'll slip the new O-rings on, and then I'll lubricate them up with a little bit of oil. So just go ahead and get all your bolts set in. Don't tighten any of them up until you get all 4 of them in, and then you can start tightening them down. If you need to reset this bushing so you can get your alternator back in, I have a video that shows you how to do that. I'll make sure to link it in the description for you. So obviously before I started this video, I didn't pull off the belt because the AC compressor was broken and the belt was already off. Here's your belt routing diagram. The tensioner on these are very touchy. You want to be careful. It's going to go counterclockwise, but you don't want to use a whole bunch of force. It's going to go down kind of slowly. You want to let it go down slowly, and then once it's all the way down, you really don't want to force it anymore. You could easily break it, or you could break the 19mm head that you use. So just letting you know on that, this is probably the roughest part of the entire job that we just did today. You should lift the vehicle and remove the wheel cover to access the bottom ones. I'm personally just going to try to do this without removing the wheel cover, so I'll see what I can do. So that's not going to work. So I'll go ahead and lift the car, support it. You're going to pull off 1, 2, 3. I believe there's 3 bolts on here. I think there's one in the very back there, but this one seems to be missing it. So you might have 3, but I think I've just got the 2 here. And then you'll be able to access and route your belt through there. So yeah, normally there'd be 3 bolts on there, but mine's missing one. So there's just these 2 on this car, but you might have a 3rd. They're all 10mm bolts. And then you can access your belt and route everything through here. Lifted the car up higher so you could see what I was doing, but I just routed the belt from down here. I think because of the location of the tensioner bolt, which is way up there, it's going to be much easier to do that from up top. They say to do it from down below with a special tool, but I really think for us it's going to be easier since we don't have these special tools to hit it from up top. So either way this goes, this is going to be a very difficult belt to get on. I think what I'm going to do is try from up top here. I've got it routed around everything except for the water pump pulley. I'm hoping I'll just be able to slip that on. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch ratchet with an impact socket, and I think that'll give me enough. This is a shallow impact socket. The deep ones are a little bit longer, but I think that'll give me enough room to get in there behind the belt and get it up. Again, these tensioners are finicky. They're really hard to turn. You really need to be careful and feel it. Make sure that you're not going to break it. These are pressured with fluid and they have seals, so you just really need to take your time with this tensioner. I'm not going to video this because I'm definitely going to have some struggles, just as you will. But what I'll do is get back on here in a minute and I'll let you know exactly what I ended up doing, if I went from underneath or up top, or what the best process for me was to do it. Okay, so I was able to get it from up here. The book says to go counterclockwise, but I think they mean the pulley needs to go, because actually you're going to push down on it. And I used a little breaker bar to help me, but push down on that, and then I reached in back here and slipped it around the water pump pulley there, and everything's lined up. Should be good to go. And then we'll go ahead and get these electrical harnesses back in. All you need to do now is recharge the AC system. You should be good to go. Hope this video helps you.